You've heard us say this many, many times. Never put clean polish on a dirty pad. I wipe off as I go because I know where I've been and I know where I'm going. That saves me a lot of time.
We have 11 reasons why it's taking you so dang long to polish paint.
Hi, I'm Yvan.
I'm Nick.
And this is the DIY Detail Podcast. Today we're going to dive into strategies to make your polishing a lot more effective, efficient, and actually give you a much better quality result at the end.
It's not just about saving time, it's about getting better results as well, Yvan. We have 11
Yes.
things slowing the detailers out there down. The paint polishers, it's slowing them down. We're gonna speed them up.
Right.
Number one reason, and it's not in this order, but this is the first one on the list. You're not organized. There's a lack of organization. It is slowing you down when polishing paint.
Right. I've seen too many shops where I go into that the paint correction tools and products are scattered all over the shop. Have everything together in one place ready to go. In my shops, every detailer had their cart. On the cart, they had everything they needed to do the job, including 3 machines. So they had the long stroke DA for doing the correction or doing the cutting. They had their choice of a long stroke DA or a rotary to do the one step, and then they had the rotary for finishing. They all had their pads already mounted on their tools and they were ready to go. There was no guessing around.
Well, number 2 is too many products, too many decisions. And we love having fun around here. And one thing detailers love, as it relates to fun, is buying a lot of different products and trying all those products.
Right.
Those are fun things to do, Yvan.
If you're a hobbyist, great. If you're trying to make money at this, no. Basically have a system and follow the system and know the system intimately. The more you know how to use your polishes, your compound, your tools, your pads as a system, the faster you'll be and the better results you'll get. Jumping around from brand A compound to brand B compound to brand C polished with brand D pads and this machine, that machine, you're just wasting time. Learn how to use your polish. If you're able to get 99 cars finished down with this system and then the 100th is giving you a problem, it's not the system that's failing you, it's that car that might have a problem and you just have to adapt to that vehicle. But I've had comments and questions and things from people saying, I've polished with this product for years and now I need to find something else because it's not working anymore. They're just having problems with one car. The 150 or 200 cars you polished before that were fine, and then all of a sudden you have one car and you have to change your whole system? No, adapt to it.
If the system isn't very good, I could see how you'd want to go
Right.
and try different things. But if you've been living under a rock, gold standard polish is a very effective polish.
Yes.
It's really effective across our pads, other companies' pads. Like
It just
works.
Right.
So if you build your bedrock as like gold standard polish is my finishing polish, I'm pretty sure you're making a good decision there, right?
You're making an excellent decision.
Probably our foundational product as a company. I mean,
Yeah, it's one of our best sellers for a reason.
Yep.
People love it.
one thing that is slowing you down, pad size. Pad size, Yvan.
Pad size. And this is something that this industry, when I started, we had 9-inch pads, we had 8-inch pads, and we had 10-inch pads. We don't see those anymore. We now see 1-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch, and 5-inch as the most popular sizes. At DIY Detail, thankfully, our most popular pad is our 6-inch pad. People have starting to realize that the 6-inch actually covers 40% more surface area than a 5-inch pad. That 40% more surface area means you're cutting faster. Using a waffle pad, you actually have more surface area touching the paint than a flat pad. So again, that's speeding you up. And there's been this industry myth that's bothered me for 10, 15 years now that a 5-inch pad cuts faster than a 6-inch. Mathematically, you're wrong. I rarely say something is wrong, but this is one of those cases. A 5-inch pad cannot cut any faster than a 6-inch pad. You have less surface area. And especially with the DA, the dual action machine, it's not the rotation that's causing the cut. That only has like 5 to 15% of the cut is in that rotation. It's the oscillation doing the work. And even if your machine, quote unquote, stalls when you're using a 6-inch pad, you're only losing at most 15% of the cut. I'd rather have 40% more surface area cutting for me and lose 15% of the cut. That's still a 25% net advantage. So scale up to a 6-inch pad. You're gonna thank yourself eventually.
What if I'm in a tight spot and I want that 3-inch polisher with that 3-inch pad? I mean, we sell 3-inch pads, Ivan.
We do. And you rarely, if ever, I think we only have one video where we actually used a 3-inch polisher on this channel. And in my shops, multiple technicians, they all had 6-inch polishers for all their tools, and there was a shared 3-inch polisher amongst all the technicians that rarely got used. With a 6-inch pad, you can reach a lot more than you can with a 5-inch. And when people start using a 5-inch pad, that's when they realize they need a 3-inch machine to get into tighter places. With a 6-inch pad, especially with a rotary, you can get into places you can't get into with a 3-inch machine.
Using the rotary and getting into tight spots is kind of a fun adventure.
Yes.
Using the jeweling pad, it's a very fat red foam, and it'll kind of concave and squeeze into little tight areas, and that rotary movement just really makes edge work kind of a joy. Any other thoughts on it, Ivan?
No, try a 6-inch pad. You'll love it. Trust me.
There's different machines out there.
Right.
And we just mentioned a 3-inch machine / pad. But one thing that is slowing you down is polishing with the wrong tool.
Right. And the most popular dual action machine on the market used to be the 8mm stroke. Then now it's, the 15 is up there. We have a 25mm stroke for a reason. It gives you, first of all, a better finish. B, it gives you a much bigger and faster cut. And that efficiency gain makes your job easier. Using the wrong machine. An example, forced rotation machines. Forced rotation machines I've never liked. And the reason I don't like them is they're only an 8mm stroke. They're not cutting a lot. And they favor poor technique, meaning you can put 100 pounds of pressure on the machine and it's still gonna oscillate, it's still gonna rotate it. And people that use that machine, again, they think that the lack of rotation is diminishing the cut. It doesn't diminish the cut as much as they think it does. Now, on a machine that only has a 7 or 8mm stroke, yes, that rotation is a little more important, but still, it's not that much. I'd rather have, again, a 25mm stroke that's gonna be doing a nice, fast cut, at the same time providing a great finish, than an 8mm machine that I have to fight. The other tool that a lot of people don't use correctly, as far as I'm concerned, is they use the rotary for cutting. Mathematically, once again, when you actually do the tests in a lab and on paint, and you're objective about it, the 25mm machine will cut faster than a rotary. But the rotary will always, always finish better in DA when you have the proper pad. And that is our red jeweling pad. If you're trying to finish with the rotary with a flat pad, you're gonna get swirls. If you're trying to finish with a wool pad, you're gonna get swirls. If you're trying to finish with a microfiber pad, you're going to get swirls. And if you're trying to finish with a pad that's too thin or too stiff, you're going to get swirls.
On a rotary.
On a rotary. The pad we've designed for the rotary, our red waffle jeweling pad, can make anyone enjoy the rotary, first of all. Secondly, someone who's never polished before will finish perfectly on black paint with a rotary without any swirls using that pad and the gold standard polish.
If you're learning something in this podcast, please click the subscribe button down below. It's free. We promise to deliver more high quality educational content like this for you. What do you think? Have you used the rotary before? Let us know down in the comments below. Every comment gets responded to, Ivan.
Yes.
One issue that we see, we were just watching a YouTube video earlier, taping trim.
Yeah.
Plastic. You put tape on it, right? Because the whole idea is if you polish over plastic, you could permanently scar it white or damage it forever. And someone has a new car. You don't want to damage anything on their car.
No.
All of a sudden the polisher slips onto the plastic. Oh no, I've damaged that forever. So we spend an hour meticulously laying tape over all of the seams. Is that a good use of time?
In 1983, 84, maybe up to 1990, it was a good use of time. After that, if your polish is staining trim, get a different polish. It just has way too many aggressive chemicals in it that are causing that staining. The gold standard polish, we actually encourage you to polish the trim. And if you have oxidized trim, you're gonna remove the oxidation and restore that trim. It's gonna look great after you've polished it. If you have residue from wax or residue from another polish that has stained your trim, use the gold standard polish, it's going to correct that trim. And if you have very oxidized trim, you start polishing it with the gold standard polish and it becomes white and hazy, continue polishing. It just means you're breaking down that oxidation. So for us, we encourage you to polish the trim. The other thing with the gold standard polish that a lot of people don't realize is usage. And with your traditional polish that comes in a squeeze bottle, you're putting on 3 or 4 drops onto your pad. With the gold standard polish, you're putting one spray, not 2, not 3, just one spray on your pad. That one spray is usually smaller or less product than one of those drops you're putting on. So one bottle of gold standard polish covers a lot more surface area. The other thing that it does, because you're working within our system and you're using the gold standard polish the way it should be used, you're not stuffing polish residue into cracks and crevices. So you don't have that issue. You're saving time.
Ivan, we have a gold standard polish and we have a gold standard cutting compound.
Right.
What could save one time in terms of those two products?
So using the compound when you need the compound, and I say when you need. Not every vehicle needs a compound, and our gold standard cutting compound really cuts quickly, very effectively. It removes clear coat, trust me. But there are times when you need that. An example, a show car, or you work in a body shop, you've wet sanded, you want something that's gonna bring back the shine quickly, effectively. And that is where the compound comes in. I've seen too many detailers using a short stroke machine, so they're using an 8mm or 15mm machine with a pad, with a foam pad, trying to cut paint. And that's when you get into 20 and 30-hour correction jobs. When you need a compound, use the compound. The compound is gonna save you a lot of time, and use the proper pad. Use a wool pad for cutting. Don't use a microfiber pad. Don't use a foam pad for cutting. That's what wool is designed for and does exceptionally well.
Speaking of pads, people use so many pads to polish a car. And we teach a pad washer method using rinseless wash at the dilution of 256:1, which is what we dilute rinseless wash in every usage for. We clean our pads with rinseless wash, Ivan.
Right.
We use a pad washer. And how many pads do we use per car?
We use one pad for roughly 10 to 15 cars. Not 10 to 15 pads for one car. It's the other way around. And I've been using pad washers for decades now. The reason for using a pad washer, and people think, well, it's gonna slow me down, I'm stopping to wash my pad all the time. No, what you're doing is renewing your pad. A pad that is clean, fresh, and damp actually cuts much faster than a pad that's loaded with compound residue. If you've ever polished single stage paint, you know that the car is red. You're using a yellow pad. 1 or 2 passes, your pad is red. What's your instinct? You want to clean that pad. You have as much transfer with clear coat as you do with single stage paint. It's clear, you don't see it. Our cutting pad, the reason we changed, it used to be a purple wool, we changed to black wool. We wanted you to see all the clear coat residue accumulated on the pad so you'll feel like you need to clean it. And that is exactly what you need to do. So by cleaning your pad after every pass, you've heard us say this many, many times. Never put clean polish on a dirty pad. Right. And the reason for that is a dirty pad reduces the cut, reduces the finish, slows you down. So the 30 seconds you're taking to clean your pad is going to save you a minute or 2 in that polishing step.
Why not just clean it with compressed air, Ivan? I mean, people are with the clean pad movement here, but
Right.
you're talking about a pad washer. You see other people teaching blow it out with an air, tool from your air compressor. Who to believe?
Well, if you want to buy more pads, we encourage you to use compressed air because you're going to be destroying your pads very quickly. Your pads are not going to last long. The other thing is you're slowing yourself down because what are you doing? You're putting dust in the air. You're putting dust on the car. You're breathing the dust. Really not good. But at the same time, you have to clean the car again afterwards. I remember when I started polishing in the late 70s, it was horrendous. We had dust everywhere. And we had to wash the car after polishing because of that dust. Today's compounds, polishes, if you're using a product that creates dust, reevaluate what you're using.
Good point, good point. Okay, polishing can be very satisfying.
Yes.
Professionals are trying to satisfy their own egos. This is one that continues. They're not managing expectations with customers. They're doing 40 hours instead of 6. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, Ivan? What could save detailers out their time when polishing paint?
Polish to your customers' expectations, not the internet's expectations. Too many times I've seen people, they're just starting off in detailing, they're wanting to show off, they're happy about it, and they seem almost proud that it took them 20 hours to polish a car. They've done so much damage to that vehicle. Every time we polish a vehicle, we're damaging a vehicle. We're removing clear coat. Clear coat is not an infinite resource. There's only a certain amount on a vehicle, and the more you polish it, the more you're removing it. When you remove it, there's no putting it back. Yes, you can repaint the car. A repainted car is never worth the same value as factory paint. Factory paint is much, much better quality than aftermarket paint. You might get a great aftermarket paint job, but the paint they're using can never equal the quality of the factory because of the temperatures used to cure the paint. In a body shop, the interior is in the car. They can heat the booth up to a maximum about 170 degrees. Whereas in the factory, they're baking that paint at 300 degrees. It's different hardeners, it's different paint. The system to actually transfer the paint to the car and how it evaporates, etc., is different in the factory, and it gives a much better result in terms of durability. So a repainted panel will never last as long as a factory painted panel.
There is no such thing as that OEM once it's gone.
Right. And the other thing is,
OEM is
original equipment manufacturer.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, when we're polishing paint, a lot of detailers think, I'm gonna polish that scratch out. No detailer has ever removed a scratch through polishing, or wet sanding for that matter. You've removed the clear coat down to the level of that scratch. So instead of having a little line where there's potential paint failure, now you have 3, 5, 6 inches wide of where you've removed paint down to that line.
We have shown you how to get results in small sections on cars. It's called a test spot.
Right.
You do a little 2x2 section and you gauge the result maybe next to another test spot with a different pad and polish combination. And you see which one looks better.
Right.
Okay, and when you find the one that works, you say, I'm gonna use that. But we've also said don't use tape on cars and don't waste time. So what if people are like, I think I can just gauge what it looks like and I'll just pick my combo and I'll go to town. I don't need a test spot.
So the test spot can save you time and the test spot can waste time. And this is where knowing your system will help you. In other words, if you're a professional detailer, you've sold to your customer a one-step paint enhancement, you don't need to do a test spot because you're doing left, right, up, down, left, right, wipe it off. That's a one-step enhancement. But if you've sold a little more, or it's your own vehicle, then a test spot can save you time, because I've seen people automatically, I'm gonna do a 3-stage cut and buff, when all they needed was one step. If they would have done a test spot with the least aggressive method, they do that, they look at it and go, oh wow, this looks really good. I don't need to do 2 or 3 steps. This one step is doing the job.
So it could really save you time.
Yeah, definitely can save you time.
Stuff.
It can save you a lap around the vehicle.
But sometimes you get in your head, Ivan, because one panel was painted in a different factory, the other one's a repaint, so it's like, does this test spot on this panel really work on that one? The Overthinkers Club, man, I'm the president.
And always do your test spot on the worst panel on the vehicle.
Okay. Which one is that usually?
Usually the hood.
Usually the hood.
Especially if you're in an area where they get snow, because that's where they're brushing the snow off the hood.
Not being methodical. Is that you out there? If so, Ivan has a message.
Yeah. So being methodical, meaning that I know where I've been, I know where I'm going, and I know how I'm getting there. Someone that's not methodical is the one that, let's say they have a door in front of them. They'll start polishing up here, then they'll see something down here and they'll polish down there, and then, they'll polish up here, and then they're back down here because they don't remember if they polished down there, then they're back over there, then, up here, did I do 2 or 3 passes there? I'm not sure, let me go over it again. That slows you down. Being methodical is knowing your system and having a method. So basically, left, right, up, down, left, right on a section no wider than your shoulders. You do that whole section. So that whole area of the door. Then you move over, do the next area of the door, et cetera, et cetera. I wipe off as I go because I know where I've been and I know where I'm going. That saves me a lot of time. If you notice the videos that we do here, I'm always finished before Nick is. Even though I move slower, I'm older, I take my time. He's rushing, and I get finished first. The reason for that is I'm methodical, where Nick is a little all over the place. And he's getting better, he's learning, and you can learn too.
You can learn too, and we're all learning at the same time. Maybe Ivan's even learning?
Yes, I'm always learning. Learning is something that should never stop in detailing. The day that you say you know everything, that's when you really need to start learning.
We have a bonus tip for you on how to really save time and what's holding you back. And it has something to do with ergonomics, Ivan. What's the message that you wanted to share?
So ergonomics. I've seen people when they're polishing, they're bent over and they're hunched and the shoulder's up in the air and this one's down and they're all crooked. A, that's slowing you down. B, at the end of the day or the next day you need to polish, you're not gonna be so happy to polish because you're sore everywhere. Stand up straight. You don't need to bend over. For me, you'll see me, I polish one-handed a lot of the time. I don't need to hold onto the machine with two hands. If I'm on a roof or a hood, I'm just gonna hold onto the handle and reach over and do that. I'm not bending over the hood, trying to hold onto the machine with two hands. No, we don't use pressure. Pressure is something that actually slows you down. People think pressure is, oh, I wanna go faster, I'm gonna add pressure. No, if you wanna go faster, release the pressure. As soon as you create heat, you actually slow the polishing down because clear coat is a plastic. You heat plastic, it gets soft. The abrasive, instead of cutting, now is grabbing and rolling, grabbing and rolling. So you don't need to smell the polish. Ours smells like bananas. We're telling you now, you don't need to smell it. That's what it smells like. So you don't need to have your nose up against the polisher. The other thing is reaching. Work within the width of your shoulders. That's it. Don't try to reach. If you're doing a hood, do a section of the hood and move over and do another section instead of trying to do the whole hood in one fell swoop. Don't be reaching, don't be crossing over. So my left hand should not be going further than the center line of my body. My right hand should not be going further than the center line of my body. And it shouldn't be going further than that or further than that. Try to stay within that area. Try to stand up straight, stay square to the vehicle. Don't get all contorted and bent up. It's gonna hurt you in the long run, and actually in the short run, but in the long run, it's really gonna hurt you, and you're not gonna get done faster. It's actually gonna take you longer to get the job done.
How long do you think it should take one person to do a vehicle like the one behind us?
So a one-step enhancement with, once you've done the prep and all that, you're starting to polish from start to finish 1 hour. You should be around that vehicle with ease.
Let's show them, Yvan. Maybe it's not on this vehicle, but how to do a one-step polish from start to finish.
Yeah.
A comprehensive how-to guide. We will not just tell, but we will also show.
Yeah.
And that video is right here.